We should be live. Advertise. Right, we should be going. Should have game sounds and my audio. So hello Oni. Just doing a couple quick things. 1 second. There we go. Right, should be good, should have all audio sorted, should be all set to go. So, quick recap, we got everyone to survive the votes. We did 2 scenes from D team and 1 scene from C team. This one was a kind of shitty one, where we had the don't press the button. I pressed it and nuked everyone. I didn't press it and we were all murdered. Then there was this one here, what we did, C team next, where we had the lounge room. One situation, we got gunned down, the other one, just everyone kind of realised how depressing the thought of multiple universes was. Just charming. And then a delightful note which we ended this yesterday's stream on, which was we had to choose between firing a gun and playing Russian roulette with Sigma's life, or leaving Phi to die. So we played Russian roulette, shot Sigma, and then Diana proceeded to shoot herself. So yeah, shit was fucky. Also, I've just realised I've put the wrong link somewhere. 1 second. Right. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing this sort of timeline first, which I believe is the timeline where D team are all dead from the vote. So this should be either D or C. So I'm gonna go do some C team. Now, everyone was alive in the poker room, so I'm going to take a wild guess at it not being the chainsaw one. Let's go with this fragment. Yes.
The infirmary.
Guess we were locked in here while we were unconscious.
Huh? It opened!
So that means...
We weren't locked in?
But why are we here then?
C-Team, how are you feeling?
0.
Before we begin, I shall tell you an old story. 17
Oh yeah,
years
story time.
a woman was killed. One day, about a month later, a male suspect was located and arrested for her death. He claimed innocence, but the jury found him guilty. The verdict could not be overturned, and thus the man was executed. In her grief, the man's wife took her own life. 2 young children were left behind.
She left 2 children?
We moved several years later. New DNA analysis results proved that the man's claims were true.
So, quick check what time that was. 1810. Okay, so that's like 20 minutes before
He was falsely.
the incinerator room with D
The true
team.
culprit remains at large. Their identity is still unknown. Life is simply unfair. Don't you think?
More of these pointless stories.
Calamity can occur without warning. Say, perhaps, one day you woke up and found yourself injected with poison. That's not too odd to happen to someone. Just as it has to you.
What?
If you do nothing, the 6 of you will fall asleep, only to never regain consciousness again.
6?
Fuck you, asshole.
The antidote is in that room. Find it. Good luck.
We've been poisoned?
I don't feel different, but I doubt he was lying to us just then.
We better get to finding this antidote. I didn't make it to today just to end like this. I need to do what I'm here to do. I can't die.
You're right. Let's all get through this together. We'll find the way to stay alive.
So why 6? Has he poisoned one of the other teams using what's in here? Humidify, skin dries out during the winter. Humidifiers are useful. Picture of a woman holding a candle. It's made of cloth. Alright. Oh, hello. Luminol. Cool. I'm going to straight away say... Okay. Dead plants. No power, so we have to turn that on somehow. What is that? Barcode reader. There's some kind of barcode somewhere in the room that we need to scan. Yep, I know. Okay, so that's power, another dead plant. Okay. Trying to get her to strip. And we have a set of lockers with combinations on them. Yep, there we go. 5, 2... So what can we get from these? Nothing. Sweet. $693. Nothing again. $413. Hello. Oh. God damn it. For now, let's carry on. Oh, let me close that door so I can check. Oh no, it's going on about this. Let's go with 139. Yep. Nothing. 275. Hello. It's a picture of a syringe pointed at a candle. Must be some kind of hint of its place inside that locker. Okay, so need to heat it up and vaporize it, I guess? Also, it looks like that was all luminol was for. There's the syringe. Right, so we've got barcode, stethoscope, this thing. Right. How do I attach this? I'm trying to just figure out how I'm meant to slot them on. Huh, I'm meant to just do it like that. There we go. Something came out of it. Let's find the antidote and we can look for Candy in the lounge to get after. Keycard. Also, what is this? So now I need somewhere to use a keycard. Yeah? Yeah, there we go. Let's scan Carlos. Comes out with a barcode. Cool. That makes complete sense. The hell? Maybe use to scan whatever you wish. The scan stopped halfway. Hmm? I am so confused. Oh, okay. I need to get all three of them and then scan across them all. Gotcha. Come on, Akane. So yeah, I think I see the problem. They all have barcodes in their brain. So, go across all three. Yep, there we go. And that's unlocked this door. A bottle of ink and a lug wrench. Yep. Called that. No? Oh, of course. Inject the candle. Oh, that is creepy. So that card was hinting at injecting the candle. These two shapes on the side are strange. I wonder what they could be. Is this stethoscope, I assume? Wait, do I still have the... Oh, I still have the ink. In which case, let's stab these ones as well. Yep. Okay, let's get the bolts out of these corners. And then we should be able to remove this. Oh. Right. Now we're cracking safes. Yeah! Safe cracker extraordinaire. Yes, we're in quite the situation. Cases don't look like they could contain an antidote. A, B, C, all the way to H. Each button has a small container. Yeah, that room wasn't too hard.
Congratulations, C-Team. It appears you've successfully found the antidote. Now, but do not worry. Your lives shall be spared if you drink 100 cc of the antidote within the case.
The case? This case?
It should be obvious that there are 8 containers labeled A through H. Vials of liquid are within each of these containers. Only one container holds the antidote. The other 7
Oh,
are
what?
dummies. By pressing the red button in the center, the lock to that container will disengage. Only one may be opened, however.
So if we're wrong, we'll...
Still, I am not so cruel. I shall give you a hint. Sitting beneath each button is a sample of the liquid stored within. It is only 1 cc, but it is enough to provide a clue to its validity. The antidote has a peculiar characteristic. 3 minutes after you lick it, the tip of your tongue will become numb. You have 5 minutes remaining. If my calculations are correct, the poison will have spread completely through you by then, and your life is forfeit. Which case will you open then?
So wait, we've got 5 minutes. So we've got enough time for each person to try one case.
What do we do? What the hell do we do? Maybe we should go left to right and lick each one. I'll take A. Carlos, grab B. Akane, you take C.
No. We can't rely on that method to work.
Why?
It takes 3 minutes before we know anything either way. That would be alright if we picked the correct one, but if we didn't...
We're all dead.
So, what do we...
Junpei, just calm down. There's a better way. First, Carlos. You need to lick E, F, G, and H. Next, Junpei. You lick samples C, D, G, and H.
Yep, and then she licks A, B, E, and F.
As for me, I'll take samples B, D, F, and H.
What about A?
Oh, like
We
that.
don't need to test that one.
Why?
We don't have time. Just do as I say.
All right. Let's
I'm
trust
guessing you've
Akane.
just joined in the middle of this. So basically, we've all been
My
poisoned.
tongue! It's doing the tingly numb thing.
I've got nothing. What about you, Akane?
If only Junpei's gone numb,
So it's between
then
C and D.
the answer is...
Akane!
Hey, what's wrong?
I'm alright, aren't I? No, it's C. So Carlos did E, F, G, and H. It's basic logic puzzle. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Carlos did E, F, G, and H, got nothing, so those 4 are out. Kane did B, D, F, and H. And she got nothing. That leaves A and C, and Junpei did C, D, G, and H, so it's file C.
Shit! Our resistances, they must be different. It looks like the poison got to her faster.
So what should we do now? What was that method Akane came up with?
We'll have to make the decision ourselves.
The answer. What's the answer? I licked samples E, F, G, and H. Junpei had C, D, G, and H. Akane licked B, D, F, and H. And then, only Junpei felt numb. In that case, the container with the antidote is...
It's obviously F for fuck it. Oh, it's container C.
Why are there 6? Zero said that we'd need 100 cc's of the antidote. Doesn't that mean that each of those are 50 cc's?
No, I'm pretty sure these are 100cc.
Yeah, he said
there
6
are 3
of us were poisoned.
left over. Whatever.
There are 3
Got it
others
right.
still poisoned.
Didn't we, Carlos?
Who we're gonna...
Yeah, I'm positive.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck them over, pretty much.
June, Bay.
Hang on, Akane.
Hurry, get her the medicine.
Yeah, I know.
We need to take it too.
Right.
Okay, down the hatch.
So 1 second while I check something. Okay.
No, that's... Junpei.
I'm guessing he just got a flash of field. So again, for those of you who weren't here yesterday or missed that section,
I'm really sorry. I just suddenly fainted and...
the concept
it's
in
okay.
this is the morphogenetic
Plan still
field,
saved us. Thanks.
which is essentially
Still, 6
passing
vials of
memories between
antidote is
timelines.
kind of strange. Why so many? What are the other 3 for?
Now announcing the current casualties. Q-Team, Q, Mira, Eric. These 3 are now deceased. As a result, 3 X-passes will be revealed. I, kill, fool. That is all.
Q-Team is...
How could they? Even Q. He couldn't even see or hear when... to just mercilessly kill someone like that! So, I guess that means only us and D-Team are still alive.
Oh, wait a minute. I think D-Team might be in danger right now.
they're the other 3 with the virus.
Carlos! Junpei! Grab the antidote and get to the lounge!
Hey, what are you...
No time to explain! Hurry!
We need to give it to Gab and send it through to them.
These are an antidote. Please drink them, Akane.
When Zero spoke to us, I realized something. C-Team weren't the only ones to be administered the poison.
If you do nothing, the 6 of you will fall asleep, only to never regain consciousness again.
You're right. He did say 6 back then.
Yes, and now Q-Team is...
So the other 3 are...
Everyone on D team. I just hope these actually get to them.
Will he even reach them in time?
The only thing we can do now is pray.
What?
If they've fallen
That
unconscious
he'll be in
already,
time?
they're fucked.
Or...
Or
That he doesn't make it, and there'll be 6 people dead. That's what you meant, right?
Junpei!
I'm kidding? Ugh, God, you sound like my mom.
Junpei's changed a bunch since the first game. He's now way more of an asshole.
You don't really look alright, Carlos. Maybe the poison's not completely gone yet.
No. That's not it.
You're worried about the D team then?
Junpei. This might sound messed up to you, but... I saw something earlier. Like a vision.
A vision?
Junpei, your head. It was in the pantry. Just your head.
Fine. See? Look, all limbs attached and accounted for.
Maybe it was like a prophecy or something.
I highly doubt you're seeing into the future.
I agree. I don't think you're predicting what will happen. It's not the future you saw, but a different past.
What do you mean?
You know, don't you, Junpei? Morphogenetic field theory.
Roll
A special
credits.
field exists in a dimension we can't see that acts as a medium for information. This may be what's happening. I think Carlos accessed that field and saw another history.
What?
Remember what you said during the vote? You can tell down which path death waits and which is safe.
Yeah? But that's just my gut feeling.
Are you sure?
Where are you going with this?
You're a firefighter, right? There must have been countless times when you found yourself facing danger. Better to go right or left. Go upstairs or turn back. Maybe every time you made a decision, you were observing the other histories. Which room held someone needing your help? Which door blocked an inferno? You knew because you saw it happen already.
Morphogenetic field theory. Why do you know all this, Akane?
Because I have the same ability as you. And Junpei can do it too. He saved me once. It's thanks to his power that I'm even here at all.
That was a long time ago. I haven't been able to use it since. Even now,
Greetings. How does it feel to revive from the brink of hell?
0.
Now it is time for you to sleep. When next you wake, know you will have no memory of these past 90 minutes. Pleasant dreams.
So yeah, it seems there are 2 ways of using the morphogenetic field. One is what Junpei did of sending information to another person. So like he sent the answer to a puzzle back in time to Akane. Then there's a second version which is sending it across timelines to yourself, which requires the user to be in a high stress situation, have their life on the line. For example, in the second game, it was often done by shooting the main character in the head. So yeah. Also, in answer to your question, what happens if you pick the wrong one? Yeah, it's usually a game over screen, like the big and easy one I can point out is this one, where a big button showed up saying don't press, and it gave me 60 seconds to decide whether or not to press it. I decided to press it, and it detonated a nuclear bomb and murdered all of us and blew up this facility we're in. The other situation, I decided to leave it, we left, and a murderer killed us, and then proceeded to leave the vault. So, hey, I was right. In fact, just so we can see this scene, let's go back and see what happens if we do it wrong.
Aha! I feel it. My tongue's totally tingling.
Yeah, me too. Mine's completely numb.
Oh,
Don't feel.
the actual answer changes.
Akane!
Hey, what's wrong? Well, only Akane didn't feel anything. In that case.
Okay, so I have to try and figure it out so I can guess which is the wrong one. Yeah, previously it had one where we had to roll dice and everyone had to roll a 1. That was randomized. The one I did yesterday at the end was randomized as well, I think, where I had to fire a gun at someone's head to open a door to release fire. If I didn't, fire died. If I didn't, fire died. If I did, I had to like just roll on whether it turned out to be a blank or a real bullet. So both Junpei and Carlos licked H, and that triggered it. Also just because I want to know which is right. E, F, G and H are both gone, so that leaves A, B, C, D. C, D are both gone. Akane licked A and B. Licked B and D. So it's the antidotes would be G. Yeah, the antidote is vial G. Because that's the one they both, two of them both licked and it sent them numb. They also both licked H, but Akane licked H and she didn't feel anything. So G is the correct answer, but we're gonna choose F for fuck that noise.
Yeah. Hurry. Yeah. We need.
And now I assume
I'm sorry, you guys.
Damn you, Carlos.
So yeah, that's what happens if we pick the wrong one. The same up until the points that they pass out, and then dead. So that gives us all of that. I can't carry on that timeline because it's locked by something. So we're going to go back to so far the biggest regret of the game, which was gun versus incinerator, in which I fired the gun, released Phi, but it shot a bullet into Sigma's head, killing Sigma, and then Diana proceeded to regret the decision, couldn't bear it, and so shot herself in the head. Let's see if we can do it differently this time.
What?
So, I can definitely get a different situation if I don't pull the trigger. But I'm a gambling man, so please be a blank this time. Please be a blank this time. So yeah, the door opens at the sound of a gunshot.
Incinerator door is open. Incineration process terminated.
Sigma? Sigma!
Do we do it?
Hey, you alright? Are you hurt?
Oh, I think we did it.
Oh,
Yes!
damn. My ears really hurt. They're killing me. That might have ruptured my eardrum.
Cool. And this should take us down a different route.
What the hell were you thinking, Diana? Why did you pull that trigger? We got lucky that it was a blank, but if it'd been live, then Sigma...
Hey, it's all right. Everything turned out fine.
There's no way
It
I'll
is
accept
very
that
sore.
the end justified the means. Listen, Sigma. Diana made the decision. It was her choice to pull that trigger. That means she didn't care that there was a 50% chance you'd die.
So, where are you going with this? It was to save you. And she did. She saved your life. Hell, you should probably be thanking her.
I didn't ask for any help.
Now announcing the current casualties. Q Team, Q, Mira, Eric. These three are now deceased. As a result, 3 X-passes will be revealed.
And now we need to get the antidote.
Kill. Fool.
Yep.
That is all.
So this is literally right as the
Can't
antidote
believe it.
one we just
So,
did ends.
because of the vote at 1330, they were executed.
But even Q...
He had to deal with a handicap. He probably didn't even realize something was wrong.
There it is. Oh wow.
What's wrong? Diana? You too?
Great, so even if we survive, we die.
What?
Oh, just
What's
peachy.
happening?
I think we were poisoned. Probably while we were asleep. Why? Who really cares right now? We only need to save...
Gab?
Gab! Wait! These are... We're saved! Gab, he brought us the antidote.
Fucking drink it already. Do they know who Q is?
Come on.
It does sound like that,
Let's
with
drink
everyone
these.
referring to him as
Wait.
having a handicap.
Hold on. What did it say on the note? These are the antidote. Please drink them. Akane.
It's fine. It's from Akane. We can trust her. The handwriting is definitely hers.
Carlos could have threatened her to write it. When we voted, Carlos chose Q-Team. Their note said that they'd vote for D-Team.
Then that whole note was a lie?
I don't know. But it's not a stretch to imagine that Carlos intends to kill all of us. If we get knocked off, then C-Team can get out of here.
So, you're saying that these aren't an antidote, but...
Exactly. They might be poison.
No. I can't believe that. We already had a concoction pumped into our veins that's killing us. Why bother doubling down on the poison? Let's count on C-Team.
It's not like you've got better
Regardless,
alternative.
if we don't do anything, we'll...
You choose, Diana. You saved all of us before. I'll trust you to do it.
But...
And of course, we know that that is definitely the antidote. Because we sent it through. And then the other one died, he didn't. Down that shit.
I'm gonna trust in C-Team too.
Bottoms up. And here's where it turns out it was 3 antidotes and 3 vials of extra
I
poison.
still don't get it. What in the world is C-Team thinking? Did they have a fight?
You mean Akane and Carlos took opposite stances?
That's the only explanation that makes sense. Akane sent Gab with the antidote in order to save us. But that would have been an incredibly unfavorable outcome for Carlos. If that wasn't what he wanted, then he wouldn't have voted for Q-Team.
Aren't you thinking too hard? I really doubt that Carlos intended for Q-Team to be executed.
How can you be so sure?
Well, he's an honorable firefighter who saves lives.
Simple-minded as always. We've only known and lived with him for 5 days. How could we have any idea what he's thinking? No, it's not an issue of time. It's just not that easy to see a person's true self.
Even yours, Vi?
Yeah.
Does that mean you're hiding something from us?
Yes.
What is it?
Don't laugh, okay? My hair is actually red. I said not to laugh.
But... I mean...
It's a big deal for me, okay? I have a complex over it.
So that color...
It's dyed. I figured I may as well make it something unique.
Well, I'm a redhead too.
Yeah. You're being rude to Diana.
Well, it looks good on her, of course. I mean, try to picture it. My face, but with red hair.
Aww,
in the future,
I think it'd
her
be
hair is
super
blue.
cute.
Not too bad. It'd be a good look for you.
Yeah,
Ah, good. It seems you 3 are okay.
0.
It's good for you to rejoice while you can. You can look forward to a dark future ahead.
What does that mean?
Now it is time for you to sleep. When next you
1929.
wake, know you will have no memory of these past 90 minutes. pleasant dreams.
Yeah, that guy there in the center is Q. He's a little kid with no memory of who he is, whose head is trapped in a container. Also, just for my sake, what happens if we don't get it? Also, someone please just Photoshop that time to decide so that I can take it and emote it. Or your choice is made, rather, than time to decide.
Diana! What are you doing?
I think Fi was right about them. There's poison in the vials.
Then what the hell would you call the reason we're writhing and groaning?
Maybe it's
Got you
some
there.
kind of pain drug. It shouldn't kill us if we just.
And so, thank you, Mrs. McSnarky Pants, for following. That's a hell of a name. Yep, we did. We need more people. And TK DVB84 and Cruiser Prince Eugen. Thanks for following. Yeah, I've seen that one. I'm thinking of trying to Photoshop it so it's just the your choice is made thing. Like, you know how in the Discord we have the smug Lancer face and Rick face no space with no background? I'm thinking of trying to get something along those lines. Now, do we reckon this last tree is going to be C team or D team? Hold on, let's take a look, see if any... No, I don't think there's any brand new scenes that have appeared. I'm going to say that that's going to be a C team. Where's need to go back and check? That's 3 and then a choice. That's 4. Oh no. 2 and then a choice. That's the... Okay. That's an interesting one. I have no idea what that is. Also, apologies if you can hear my stomach grumbling. Yeah. There we go. That should be it. I think. This should hopefully finish that little timeline. Shit. No food. I ate food. Just the food wasn't enough.
Are these things robots?
Yeah.
Are they real?
I doubt they're model toys.
Hey! Hello? Well, he's not very friendly.
It's probably just out of power.
Still, why would these things be in this room?
Looking around, I'd say they were being made here.
Made?
Yeah. Zero's probably manufacturing them. It does say this room is manufacturing on the map.
Sigma.
Oh. So, as we mentioned yesterday, in the scene where they were all murdered, he mistook Diana for a person called Luna, who in the second game was a robot drone assistant lady who helped him in the future, which I'm pretty sure was based off Diana. So I think he's just looking at that and going, robots, Diana, Luna.
Damn. It's locked. Guess we're trapped in here.
Again?
Again?
Diana, what time is it?
It's 1810.
There's no use wasting time in a place like this.
Okay, nope,
Let's
this is the wrong
just
timeline.
Find some way out of here.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, unless he's fucking with watches. This is at the exact same time that C-Team was woke up in the poison room. Oh well. And then we've got this one. High volt contactor. Move the ropes behind it, that will power it. Seems so if we can get some electricity to power this thing. No, I want to look at the thing on the bottom. God damn it. Alex, Betty, Charlie. White, red, blue. Contact between the red and blue balls will result in an immediate powerful explosion. Set the timer with the buttons above. Okay, that's a bomb. Sweet. Screwdriver head. Can we go ahead and slot that in? No, cool. Red and blue balls are inside. Okay, so that's where the bomb's fuel, I guess it would be, is stored. Can I combine those? I was thinking just use the pliers to hold it in place. Cut Charlie. White, red, blue. Charlie is blue, I think. Screwdriver. Useful. Dummy color, red, blue. white, close now, surveillance, and inner circuit. Stun gun. From the far left, 4 right, 1 left, 2 left, 4 right, 3 left, 3 top. Yeah, sure, I'll just fetch everyone food, shall I? This one says cut Betty. Okay, got Crane. Is there anything on the ceilings? Let's check we've got everything. Let's hit it with the stun gun. Wait, what? It's reacting to the stun gun, so... Oh, okay. So that's what that's for. No one. 4 right, 1 left, 2 left. So, just write it down so I'm not having to constantly go back to this. 4 right, 1 left, 2 left, 4 right, 3 left, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 left, 2 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Let's say if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 left, 2 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Or maybe it's just some cancelling out of it that I don't actually need to light up the last one. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No? Four, right? This is... Oh, I think I'm being an idiot. I'm being a very big idiot. From the far left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm an idiot. Yep, that was me being a dump. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Alex. Hey, Betty. I'm Betty. Nice to meet you all. Hooray. No, anger. Put down. Set timer to 0 seconds, please. Set the timer to 0 seconds. Well met, my name is Charlie. I'm only saying this once, so listen up. Could you be any ruder? So, this was setting the timer. Yep. The detonation box. Betty has activated the timer inside the box just now. The ignition signal will transmit in 5 minutes. It can be disarmed if you choose. You only have to cut the correct wires inside. Don't pick the wrong one. The hints to the right wires should be left by the designer. Does that mean there's a blueprint around here? So it's a box. Nope. That one. Cut Betty. Betty was center, so red. Cut red? Cool. That was simple enough. E. So the blueprints and notes were clues to disarming this. There's still something inside the detonation box. Please take this. Alex's note. Cut Betty. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Sweet. We've got a robot that's into Doctor Who references. It's hammers and a pendulum. Oh, okay. Wait, what? I was trying to switch. Right, okay, so that's the pendulum down center. We can't touch that. Okay, so we want that to go there. Then that. Then that. This one falls to here. Then that one. Then that one. And then this one. Now we take this section off. Should be able to close out. Cool. Next white cat. Oh, hello. I love lamb. I drink your milkshake. I am Spartacus, Geronimo. It's all just TV and film references. We don't have time for this right now. We have to disarm this box first. Right, so this one is blueprint 2. Yep. Cut Charlie. Charlie was third, so blue. Sweet. Oh god, there's another one beneath it. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Here's Johnny, I'm the doctor. Who? Who? It means one of the three colours. Which one corresponds to Betty then? This one? He said, cut Betty. Betty was second, so red, I believe. You have one last white cut, you know. Cut the time while the one with the oldest memory has the answer to which one it is. Oh, what? But he said cut Betty. Oh.
Seems like it went all right.
Let's go. We've been in this creepy room long enough.
So just...
Where's Gab?
I don't see him.
Maybe he went off to another ward?
I'll go and check in the prep room.
Why there?
Well, he could be coming through the air vent.
Ah, Eucapis.
Sigma,
Hello.
did those robots cause you to remember something?
The robots?
The ones we saw when we were in manufacturing. You started acting so strange after we entered that room.
I've made a few before, in the past.
You made robots?
Well, I mean, all I really made was the outer appearance and the AI. The frame was built somewhere else.
Why did you make them?
It's a long story. Let's just say that it was vital to the completion of my plan. No, maybe that's not quite true. It could have just been my cover. To tell the truth, I was simply lonely. I spent several decades of my life alone, in the middle of a desolate desert. I lived in a facility built deep underground, much like this shelter is. Sometimes an acquaintance stopped by, but that was it. No calls or even emails. It was a place of complete and utter quiet. No rain, no wind, just a buzz that echoed in my ears constantly. Still, it wasn't as if I was all alone at the start. Someone was there to help me for a short while after I started living at the facility. A woman. She was very lovely, kind and gentle. Her name was, well, let's just call her Dee.
Oh.
Dee and I, we lived together for 3 years. We spent the time researching genetics and studying various subjects like quantum mechanics, cosmology, biochemistry, and artificial intelligence. But the woman passed away.
Why?
The facility's environment was very particular. To be brief, it had weak gravity. As a result, an illness developed within her circulatory system. My grief overwhelmed me. 2, 3 years passed, and the pain was as fresh as ever.
So that's why the robots...
I recreated Dee's appearance as best I could. I made her thought patterns match as close as possible. I spent 25 years completing her. And of course, it was impossible to perfectly replicate everything about Dee. Still, she ended up pretty close. For a robot. I named her Luna. Luna was very devoted to me. I also found that I truly loved her. Not as a woman, but more like a daughter. Do you hate me?
No, I'd never. I'm just really confused. It took you 25 years to make that robot. Sigma, how old are you?
I'm 67.
No. You must be joking.
Hey, Diana, Sigma, come here.
But he explained it back in Decon. His mind is from a future version of himself.
What is it?
From when he was living on the moon.
I've come up with a plan.
Plan?
Would you bring out the map, Diana? What's beyond the decontamination room?
The hall for the elevator.
So that would mean?
If we open this door, we can get out of here?
But how would we get it open? It's welded shut. Nothing less than a bomb would manage to dent it.
Then, let's use one.
What?
We do have a
Let's
huge ass
just
bomb.
use a bomb, and boom, the door will be blown away.
Wait, you don't mean...
Only problem is, if that's
If I
the
remember
same
right,
bomb we
we
pressed
only
the
need to
button
set
to
the timer
before.
and press the start button?
Correct. Once the timer ends, the red and blue balls are released.
When they both touch, that's when it explodes.
Yeah. Okay. Get to it, Sigma.
Huh?
The two of us, we'll see you back in the lounge.
Wait a second. You want me to carry it by myself?
Men lift the heavy stuff. It's been the way of things since olden times.
I'm the old one.
But your body's 22, right? Don't forget to be careful moving it, okay? If those two balls touch early, we're goners. Diana and I won't have a way out anymore.
Your concern for me is touching.
Okay. Let's go, Diana.
Push the button.
Okay.
Real?
Oh, Diana, no. Diana, what are you doing?
Phew. All set to go.
Congratulations.
Who the hell made you head honcho?
Call me Boss Fi.
When did you get so high and mighty?
Since birth.
Parents must have been real characters.
Please, you two. More importantly, looks like the timer can only go up to 300 seconds.
5 minutes, huh?
5 minutes is plenty of time to get enough distance.
Depends, we don't exactly know how powerful this bomb is.
All right, I'm gonna push the button now. Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Ready when you are.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'd keep fucking
I
running.
think this is far enough.
How much time is left?
I'd say 4 minutes, No, 20 seconds.
Now announcing the current casualties. C-Team, Carlos, Akane, Junpei. These 3 are now deceased. As a result, 3 X-passes will be revealed. Fire, crash, 5. That is all.
Oh,
No.
we've had that timeline before.
The execution.
What?
You forgot? Diana picked C-Team during the vote at 13:30.
Wait, what are you saying? Diana chose to vote for Q-Team. Isn't that right?
I...
What kind of nonsense are you trying to pull? Did you really believe that I wouldn't notice?
0.
What you're doing right now is considered a rule infraction. You are not allowed to leave by means other than the X door. That is one of the game rules.
We never heard that rule before.
As such, I decided I must break the rules as well. Q-Team is on the other side of the decontamination room at this moment. They lie unconscious from being injected with the anesthetic in their bracelets.
Yes, links should
Just
work.
so you know, the bomb you activated is really quite powerful. It's true that if it detonates, a door in the decontamination room will be blasted apart, just as you had planned. At the same time, that means the deaths of the oblivious, slumbering Q-Team. So, what will you do? There are 3 minutes left. You can stop the timer and save Q-Team. Or leave them to die and make your own escape. The choice is yours.
Hey, wait! Diana!
Nice.
Hydrofluoric acid!
It's a powerful acid that can even melt glass or metal.
How do you know that?
I know because I just do.
It doesn't matter. It's definitely some kind of acidic liquid. There's no way we can get inside.
Yep, Zero's an asshole.
This is...
A protective suit.
We can go in if we put this on.
But there's only one.
I'll do it.
No, Diana!
But if someone doesn't go in, Q-Team will...
Then I'll go.
No, I won't let you.
Stop it! We're already too late. Even if someone gets the suit on, we won't make it in time. Come on. Let's get out of this room. There's no other way.
What are you saying, Sigma?
we want to survive, it is just turn and run. Like, we don't run, we go in, we sort it. But then we've got to try and deal with a live bomb during a situation in which there's hydrofluoric acid pouring down and only one of us gets a protective suit. That's pretty much asking for us to fuck up. It's gonna go through the glass, it's gonna set off the bomb, and we kill ourselves. We run away, we get to a safe distance, Q-Team dies, we live. So, sorry Q-Team, but you guys have Eric, so bye. Speaking of which, after this one, I shall give Q-Team some love, since I've not done anything from them yet.
Where's Sigma? He's still in there. Sigma! Sigma! What are you doing? Open this door!
I have to do this.
What do you mean?
You would have tried to hold me back if I said I'd go, right?
You...
No.
Lied?
Anyway, there's no time. You both need to get as far away as you can.
Stop messing around, you're just gonna die?
That's not it. It's just in case. I won't die. I will save
Sigma,
everyone in
no.
Q-Team. So...
Sigma! Sigma! Sigma!
Fuck! Are you kidding? So that was there. So that's got to be some kind of Q-Team development. Okay, so yeah. This is the route where C-Team were executed. And this one was... suppression? Ah, yeah, the press the button one. So what happens if we choose to stay? Considering it stops directly after. Fuck! God damn it, Sigma, stop being a hero. I'm not running.
I'm sorry about this, Sigma.
Diana, you...
Phi, I have a request. Take Sigma to the surface.
I can't.
So you're saying you can't do it? Then I have no choice.
Wait, what are you doing?
This.
Don't tase me, bro.
No!
Oh. Goody. Fuck this game. So it's either I choose Sigma is going to die or everyone dies. Sweet. Right. Let's give Q Team some love. Fucking son of a... Actually, no one will die, right? Right?
Why?
Nope. It won't even budge.
Ah! The hell is that?
Formaldehyde solution with...
A pig.
It's okay, Mira. I'm right here with you.
Fuck you, Eric.
We're in the biolab, right?
So there's a bunch of biological research here.
Jeez, this place is really creepy. Why is something like this in a bomb shelter?
Maybe the builders thought to be prepared for some kind of pandemic.
Pandemic?
An infectious disease that hits on a global scale. It's like a sudden deadly virus outbreak.
Maybe this place is an isolated location for researching all kinds of viruses like that.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe Zero put it here in order to do something to us.
Like what?
Like maybe taking the ingredients and cooking all of us a nice meal.
Ugh.
But isn't it too early for dinner?
It's been 4.5 hours since we fell asleep in the lounge.
Another 18
4.5 hours. They knocked us out for quite a while.
No, not necessarily. We could have woken up a bunch of times during all that, but if Zero erased our memories...
Of course, we wouldn't remember.
No.
What's this?
Slash the pig's stomach.
Whoa! For real? Would that mean that we...
Probably.
Why? Why do we have to do something like that?
I have no idea, but it's not like we really have a choice, do we?
There's no way to leave. We're just gonna have to do what he said.
Analyzer needs to be powered on. Drawers don't want to open. Clean benches for preventing contamination of substances. Green liquid, pink liquid. UV irradiator is used mostly for drying and strengthening adhesive materials, so not toasting your skin to a beautiful tan. God, I hate this team. We don't know the combination yet, so I'm just not gonna touch that. Also, get me a knife so I can slice that. Piece of paper. Careful examination of the green and pink liquids reveals two different cell structures. Separating the liquids results in different colours. One thing is clear after inspecting the separate liquids under the microscope. Each cell structure is unique for each colour. Cool. Oh. So we've got a centrifuge. Set the dial to A to mix the liquid. Centrifuge manual. This device is used to mix and separate liquids. Place 2 test tubes of liquid into the machine. The centrifuge will mix and output the mixture into the beaker. Sweet, there's a knife to slash the pig's stomach. Okay. Pig stomach. Slash. File on Fanatic Bio R. The incubation period for this virus is extremely short. Mortality rate is 100%. Symptoms include blood erupting from the body, then death. Microscope lens. And power cord. So let's go ahead and throw the lens on here. Okay. It's too fuzzy. That's like wipe it down or something. There's a thin hole inside here. Something thin and long. Sweet. We take that and then oh, okay. So we've got somehow... Right, no, I want that. I'm gonna separate out this. Let's check what all of them look like. Two blue cells, 5 yellow cells, 3 red cells. And then 1, 2. Hey. So yeah, we go off the cell groupings. Inspiring specimens, I think we can fit all of these in the box. Ah, it's one of these again. Okay. That there. That's in there. Here. There. That down there. Let me swing that around, pop that one there. This one goes at the top here. Alright, pass. Oh, that one's wrong, because it's not overlaying properly. As is that one. That goes in there, maybe? So I can't go there. We go here. Can't go there. There. There we go. And turn this one this way, pop that there. And you go up here, sideways. Done. Capsule pills. Green, red, pink, and blue. You can do 3 things in there. can make green and pink using those two and those two. Blue is on its own, red is on its own. Is there anything else in there? No. There's also the question of what this plate is for. Nope. There we go. Trying to get it to just go flat. Okay, that'll more or less do. Orange, blue, white. So once red, yellow, orange liquid. Go orange, blue, white. Success. Grab the Reese's Pieces. Five symbols with 5 colours, all different. Bird, shark, fly, flower, person. Guessing that's these. Bird, insect, fish, flower. Yeah, so we want bird, fish, wait, I can't move the butterfly? Hold on. Fish, plant, insect, bird, and the human we just got. It's each category. Oh. Capsules. Thank you. Green, red, pink, blue, white. I still can't move you. Oh, I can't check my items while I'm in here. So, butterfly was white, human was blue, Flower is red, shark is pink, bird is green. But I can't move the butterfly at all. Can I like make new pills? No, that'd be daft. Movement lock. Also, my pad has just died. 1 second. There we go. The scientists require their specimens to be categorized and put in their proper place, all but the butterfly can be shifted to another position. So you can't be moved. So white, that's the butterfly, that's the empty capsule. Look at them. 1, 2, 3, 5. So penguin is 1, seahorse is 2, baby's 3, roost 5. Look at the actual... Look at the pills themselves, Yolk. They're the shape of numbers. Like, the green is 1, pink is 2, blue is 3, and red is 5. Yeah. One, 2, 3. That can't be moved. 5. There you go. My nose is waiting for... Yeah, sure you did. Fingerprint authentication device. Do we have to prove our identities now? Right, so we need to activate them all and slide them together. No? The other one's still locked up though. Ah! Oh, what? There's a slot there, let me interact with the slot. pig in formaldehyde. Cool, so now I've got a pig. I don't have the knife anymore. Do I have some way to slash it? I don't think I've got any cutting tools at the moment since the knife broke. Yeah. Or can I just use a shard of glass? Oh, okay. Oh, we could use a scalpel. Now, let's see what's inside this thing. We're in the big leagues now.
Zero.
That's what the achievement said, at least.
17 years ago, a woman died. Her chest carved open with a sharp object. Just like that pig there. What difference? That woman was alive. Her heart was still beating as the organ was crudely carved out of her. A male suspect was quickly caught. He must have planned to escape via taxi, as he called one before his capture. The police arrested him before he was able to utilize the waiting vehicle to flee the scene. Instead, achieving his arrival for life-saving treatment. However, the taxi got into an accident before reaching its destination. It collided with a large truck. The resulting wreck was horrendous. Sadly, as a result of this accident, the driver and surgeon died, as well as the young boy waiting for surgery. Life is truly unfair, don't you think?
What is the point of him telling us this story?
It's just some kind of act, right? Probably doesn't mean anything.
I'm not sure.
Now then, let's begin our game, shall we? The rules are as follows. The pig's stomach you cut open contained 3 syringes. Each of them is filled with a specific virus called Radical 6.
Radical 6?
This virus is special. It awakens a desire to kill oneself, among other things. Once infected, symptoms appear as early as 10 minutes, or take up to 2 hours. And the host soon finds the urge to commit suicide irresistible.
Yeah, I recognize that
The
one.
mortality rate is 75%.
It's used in the second game, if I remember right.
Highly contagious. Oh yes, I believe you located a set of documents during your search of this room. A set of files on FBR, the Fanatic Bile R virus. The mortality rate of this virus is 100%. Infection results in blood erupting from your body, then death. An antagonistic relationship exists between Radical 6 and FBR. If you were to be infected by Radical 6, it would be cancelled out with the addition of FBR, and you are unaffected. Conversely, injecting Radical 6 into you after becoming infected with FBR will cause them to destroy each other and leave no adverse effects on you.
So, a single virus is toxic, but using the other as a vaccination provides an antidote.
Now, here's an important piece of information for you. I am what you'd call a clairvoyant, one who knows the future.
What is he talking about?
If I had foreseen that you would all choose to inject Radical 6 at this moment, I would have made sure to coat FBR on the fingerprint authentication device for you. Meaning, you'd already be infected with the Fanatic BioR virus.
That device over there?
Oh, I do remember feeling something when I touched it. Like a prick.
So we were all stabbed by a poison needle?
On the other hand,
Motherfucker.
if I saw that you were not going to inject yourselves with Radical 6, then I would be sure to leave the needle clean. That way, you would not become infected with Fanatic BioR.
Wait, what? What are you saying?
I'll say it once more. If all of you plan to inject yourselves with Radical 6, you already have FBR. If you are not going to inject yourselves, then you are not infected right now. Which means, in either case, you being saved is a foregone conclusion. There's no reason for you to worry about the situation. What will you do now? Inject yourselves with Radical 6, or refrain? It would be best to consider carefully.
So...
I will say that your decision is already known to me.
So wait, do we even need to choose?
Huh?
If what Zero told us is the truth, then the outcome will be the same. If we inject ourselves with this Radical 6, we're already infected with FBR. So they destroy each other and we're fine. And if we don't do it, that just means we weren't infected with FBR in the first place.
But what if it's a lie?
Huh?
He's saying, what if he's lying about being psychic? Well, if you think about it, the likelihood that he's lying is incredibly high.
So then, what do we do? What the hell do we do?
So I know Radical 6 is a thing. That was used in the previous game. I don't know about FBR though. So for all we know, that could be a fake document that he's made. All I know is Radical 6 ended up in a lot of bad shit happening previously, so I'm gonna give that a wide pass. Don't want to risk us injecting ourselves only to find he never gave us FBR and we go murder crazy and suicidal.
We shouldn't.
Yeah, right?
Care to share your reason?
After everything, the issue isn't if Zero can see the future or if he's lying. It's just like Eric said, if Zero does have that power, then it's the same either way. That means all we need to do is think about what happens if he doesn't have powers. The important thing to determine is if we're actually infected with FBR.
So you don't think we are then?
Nope. In fact, a virus called Fanatic BioR existing in the first place is very suspicious.
Radical 6 sounds just as fantastical.
No. There's no doubt that Radical 6 is real. I've heard of it before. Well, it could be that Zero wants us to become infected with Radical 6. But instead of doing it himself, for some reason he's unable to.
So he needs us to do it ourselves then.
Hey, what the...
The door!
It opened!
Let's get out of here! If we're too slow, then the door might up and close on us.
Wait, Eric!
Don't you do it.
Hey, Mira! What are you doing?
Oh, god damn it. There's always gotta be one.
We must have been right not to inject it. I still feel okay, and more importantly, the door opened for us.
There's still another possibility, you know. That Zero really does have the ability to see the future.
If it's true, then we would have been right if we had injected the needles too.
Hey, did you tell the truth earlier?
About what?
About Radical 6 being real.
Oh, yeah.
How do you know about it?
Well, I'm not sure.
Could you get any more suspicious?
I know what I know, okay? I can't help that.
So why not share? Tell us more about this Radical 6 virus.
More. I'm not even sure where to start.
How about its name?
Oh, that's easy. Aside from triggering intense suicidal impulses, Radical 6 causes the infected's thought process to reduce by 1 root 6. Therefore, when 1 second passes for them, the world has gone through root 6 seconds, or roughly 2.45 seconds. There is also the word radical. Aside from meaning things like extreme, it can also refer to a radical root. Get it?
Oh, so that's why it's Radical 6.
But is it really possible for thought speed to be slowed down like that?
Yep. The infected, through changes in DNA methylation and histone modification, gain epigenetic mutations in the control mechanisms of their genetic expressions.
Wait! Could you maybe simplify that, please?
Oh, the body's composition changes as a genetic switch is flipped, more or less.
A genetic...
switch?
Let's try this. A common scientific thought, until now, was that parental characteristics didn't transfer. Recent research has changed that. We now know that they can be, by flipping certain genetic switches. Well, regardless of what kind of experiences the parents had to go through, their DNA blueprints won't change. But within that expansive DNA coding, the question of what should be read seems to change based on experience. The change becomes especially apparent when the parents' lives are in danger.
Like maybe if someone was trapped in a shelter and forced to risk their life.
So, if Eric and I did the horizontal tango right now, the baby might end up psychic.
What?
Anyway, so if Radical 6 really does flip the genetic switch... Hey, are you listening?
Yeah. So, you're basically saying this Radical 6 virus is super dangerous, right?
Yes, there's no doubt it is. So, Zero said earlier that Radical 6 transmits through bodily fluids and is highly infectious. If someone infected with the virus was to go outside, then... mankind, 6 billion people, will die.
6 billion?
And that would be the incident that Sigma and Phi are trying to stop. Sigma, Phi, and Akane, rather.
Now announcing the current casualties.
Radical 6 exploding out and killing
Akane, Junpei.
a chunk of the world's population.
Are now deceased. As a result, 3 X-passes will be revealed. Fire, crash, 5. That is all.
What the hell? C-Team is dead?
It's obviously because of the vote.
The vote?
At 13:30.
Then... But wait, did everyone from C-Team really die? We haven't seen their corpses or anything. They might still be alive.
No, they're dead. I'm sure of it.
Why?
Recognize those X-passes? What were they? Fire, crash, 5. Yeah, they're from one of the routes we did with D-Team. I believe.
He's right. I don't think they're alive.
You too, Mira? What do you think, old man? C-Team's gotta be alive, right?
What are you doing, Eric? He's not gonna answer you.
Yeah,
Hey, you don't
they
know.
were in the one where
Maybe
D-Team
he
ended up
Can
coming
speak?
up against the murderer.
Now it is time for you to sleep.
0.
When next you wake, know you will have no memory of these past 90 minutes. Pleasant dreams.
Because, yeah, in the one we did with D-Team, C-Team had entirely died, Eric was dead, and then the murderer came and killed Sigma, then Phi, and then when Diana tried to run, they killed Diana as well. Yeah, here. It was this one with the bomb. So, what? So, hey, would you look? If at that point we chose to inject ourselves with Radical 6, we go down the route where there's a crazy fucking murderer killing everyone. I wonder if that's related. Fucking inject Radical 6, fuck off. Fucking crazy son of a bitch. Well, just for the sake of filling it out, let's make what's possibly the stupidest decision in this entire game universe and inject ourselves with Radical 6, which definitely didn't wipe out most of the planet or anything. Yeah, that was a locked scene before. I think doing this has unlocked it. Well, let's see how this is going to end up in Eric dead.
Let's do it.
And then it should unlock
Why?
Care to
the
share your
after
reason?
effects of the other one as well.
After everything, the issue isn't if Zero can see the future or if he's lying. It's just like Eric said. If Zero
And yeah, at the end of it, the killer walked out. We don't know what happened between Mira and Q.
does have that power, then it's the same either way.
So,
That means all we need to do is think about what happens if he doesn't. Our fate can go 4 different ways if that's the situation. If we are infected with FBR and we inject ourselves with Radical 6, or not. If we aren't infected with FBR and we inject ourselves with Radical 6, or not. The important thing we need to remember, though, is the mortality rates. Zero said the casualty rate is 75% for the Radical 6 virus. And we saw in the files that death is 100% confirmed for Fnatic Bio-R. So we can use that to determine. It's clear which option is best, right?
I see. The probability that we're infected with FBR is 2 to 1, which means if we inject Radical 6, our survival rate is half of 125, 62.5%.
And if we don't inject it, then our chance is sitting at 50%.
Any objections?
yes, I object. You're injecting
know what
yourself
to
with
do.
Radical fucking 6.
Okay.
Fucking idiot.
So are we good? Did we do the right thing?
No.
The lab door opened afterwards, so we must have.
Nope.
Do you feel any different?
No, not really.
So, I guess?
I'm just expecting, no, we're fine. And then Mira will lunge across and
Hey,
rip his
Eric.
throat out.
I've thought this before, but, well, your laugh is kind of strange.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess this is, well, sort of a bad habit I've had since I was a kid.
What do you mean?
Issues at home, I guess.
Was your family difficult?
That's just it. We were completely normal. A kind mom, a clumsy dad, and an annoying little brother.
So I killed them all.
Oh, dear. What's wrong?
I'm not sure. They've just been crying.
Hey, you two. Mind telling Mommy why you're crying?
Chris broke my toy!
No! It was your fault, Eric!
Chris, Eric, listen to me, okay? When painful or sad things happen, people get angry or cry because of them. But even at those times, I want you to never forget to smile.
Smile?
Yes, smile. No matter how painful things get, as long as you can face it with a smile, happiness will come to you. Smiles have a strange power.
Really?
Yes, really. And that's not all. A smile can make everyone all around you happy too.
You too, Mommy? You'll be happy too?
Of course. So why don't you two stop fighting and show Mommy your smiles?
Okay.
Yeah!
You sure are something else. Hey, what about me? Can Daddy get some smiles too?
Oh dear, it looks like Daddy's lonely, you two. Let's all give him a whole lot of smiles.
Okay.
Get over here for a hug. Oh, you've gotten big.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, okay. Come at me. I'm ready.
Yay!
Nope.
Mom always told us to never forget to smile.
Never forget to
She'd
smile
never heard
as
a
you're
bug.
carving people's chests.
Not even if a
open.
line of ants crossed her path. She was that kind and gentle.
Fucking murderer.
She was incredible. And when we lost her, that's when Dad changed.
Shut the hell up! Who said you could fucking cry?
Chris!
Oh, Jesus, Eric! Can't you even look after your shitty little brother?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Please forgive me.
God. Fucking kids. Hey, go find someone to get me beer.
Don't cry. Don't get mad. Better always smile, was what Dad liked to say. But unlike Mom, he was never not angry with us. Eventually, I figured out how to smile, regardless of what was going on. Just smiling day in and day out. No fun. Not happy. I'd be made fun of, or yelled at. And no matter the pain, no matter how bad it was, I never raised my voice. I just kept smiling. I didn't stop. even after Dad fell ill and died. So I guess the two smiles, one taught by my mom and one forced by my dad, got kinda mixed up, and the result is what I pasted on my face.
Eric, she's...
I've never talked to anyone about all of this before, but... Mira, will you still love me? Even with me being like this?
How dumb can you get?
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even have to ask, did I?
Eric, thanks for sharing that.
It wasn't like I did it for you or anything. It just sort of came out, that's all.
Yeah, still, thanks.
To tell the truth, I just didn't want to end up like my father. So I forced my mouth to keep smiling through everything. But it's no use. The worst part of me still came to the front after we got trapped here. I pushed all of that on you, too.
Don't worry about it. I'm alright.
Okay.
So, you never mentioned you had a younger brother.
Yeah. About your age, more or less.
What? We're the same age? Oh, maybe we could be friends. Would it be okay if I met him after we get out?
Well... anyway, sorry I turned the mood dark.
You turn the mood. Oh, your jokes always crack me up, Eric.
Huh?
What?
I mean, to think that was dark. You really have a sense for these things. Don't worry, listening to it was a lot of fun.
Wait a minute. What makes you think that was all a joke?
Uh-huh.
It was such a sad story. He just told us he's been holding in this painful past the whole time. How is that a joke?
Oh, I just didn't think to make a mistake like that.
A mistake?
I'm so sorry. I've always been clumsy. It's at times like these that I don't even know how to look, you know?
Clumsy?
Hey, Eric. Can you tell me?
Mira?
Why does she have a knife in her hand?
What?
I think I found the killer.
Mira? Why did you...
No, Pass, everything is Jane.
What's wrong with you, Mira? Stop! Stop this!
Now, usually I'm all for Yandere, but yeah, hello.
No!
Just to catch you up, we were told we had a virus, and we might have, well, we were told we might have a virus, and to cure that virus we had to inject ourselves with Radical 6, which sends people crazy, makes them murderous and suicidal. I chose the right decision to not do it, and then I went back and chose the wrong decision to see what happened. Surprise, surprise, she went crazy and murdered people. Fucking... why Radical 6? But yeah. So this is the tree here where we didn't inject it. In this one, we did the events, we injected Radical 6, she murdered Eric. Wait, she murdered Eric, but... Hold on. Q's not dead. In this storyline here, when it announces the death, it says it says C team Carlos Junpei Akane from the vote, then Q team Eric. But Q isn't dead. So this must be Q. Okay. Well, I'm going to quickly finish off this storyline here. And then we'll try and figure out which Q scenario is this. Yeah, okay. Oh, yep, there's the bomb. Dunno, he had amnesia, but he knows all the facts about the chest ripper murder. Or murders. He knows about Radical 6 in depth, and like the only bit of flashback we've seen from him was him looking up from like a hospital bed. Hey, Sigma. Oh. Oh.
No! Sigma! Sigma! Sigma, hang on!
My God.
We need to get him medical attention.
No.
I'll go.
So, in the second one, Future Sigma has, like, a Solid Snake-style robotic eye patch over his right eye. I'm not sure about his arms.
Check the other room.
That can't be This can't be the canon ending, no.
It's okay. The shower's stopped, and the door's gone. We're getting out of here. Come on.
No. Please, no. Damn it. Why? This child.
Cute, buddy.
Why such a small child? Hey.
Where are the others? I see. They're all dead. I'll be joining them soon. Zero told us. It was you, wasn't it? You set the bomb. That's okay. You deserve something nice in return.
Mira, you didn't take... Oh, you... bitch!
What did you just inject me with?
Maybe you've heard of it. That virus. Radical 6.
Sorry, Fi, but for the sake of the world, I need to blow your brains out.
Was to go outside, then
Motherfucker!
6 billion people will die.
What did you...
Well, do you like it? My present to you.
Vi, wait!
Quite a pair of personalities she has. Still, fucking... And so yeah, shoot.
No.
Who knew this would happen? My body like this. Phi injected with Radical 6. Everything points to a single truth.
What truth?
It seems this history
Yeah.
is the one that connects to that future.
This is the second game's history.
Well, I guess for Phi, it would be the past. Diana, you must not use this lift.
What are you
The virtual
saying?
last reward route.
We need to get you to a hospital as soon as possible, or...
Don't worry about me.
No. The two of you need to get out of here. I am the only one who should stay.
There's no point. A rescue team will eventually show up if Diana and I get to the surface. And you know, they'll come down and get you too.
Then, kill me. Kill me and burn my remains, now!
Vi...
There's no other way. That's the only way to keep the virus from spreading. Come on, hurry! 6 billion lives are on the line!
I can't... There's no way I can't do that!
Diana, you know what you're doing, right?
Yes, I do. I'm going to save you and Vi.
So this is how it was released. While Sigma was so horribly injured. How he met Diana, who ended up influencing him to make Luna.
Hey, can you hear me? What's going on? This is Control. I repeat, this is Control. Please come in. I'm asking you to respond.
This is Diana.
Oh, thank God. You really had me worried there. What happened?
6 of us are... dead.
What?
Counting myself, there are only 3 left.
How? Why are...
They were killed.
What?
I guess you could say I killed them. No. No, that's not quite right. Not just them. Not just these 6. All of them. All 6 billion. Soon, I will have killed 6 billion people.
Are you there? Respond!
I suppose this was meant to be. Let's put our hope in the next Sigma. The me who will return here from the future.
Yeah, and so at that point he switches back. He's looked after by Diana, which is what he was talking about with Dee, who took care of him in the lunar shelter. They came up with the plan. They did the entire plot of Virtue's Last Reward. Ah. I hadn't even considered that there would be an ending that sets up Virtue's Last Reward. But I suppose there has to be in one of the endings. Otherwise they could never end up going back. Trophy earned, a rabbit in my future. Wait. There's two more. There was a radio missing. In that cutscene, it showed the radio stand and there were 2 radios, but there was a slot for a third. Right. So now we want to try and get this one. At the end of this, all of them were dead. All of D-Team were dead. Q was still alive, though. Eric's dead, so it can't be that one. So, either that, or this. Fuck. I like that. I like that they did that. Yeah. That look right? Yep, that looks like it could be it. First come, first saved.
Let us out!
Nope, there's Eric.
Let us out of here!
How long are you planning on doing that? Bang all you want, it won't open.
Damn it.
Just take a second, calm down. We need cool heads.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Do you know what that button does?
Well, no, but maybe the door opens with it. I really wasn't going to push it, though.
Kids are a pain.
But he could have a very good point. We haven't heard anything from Zero. Just sitting around here is useless. Maybe just one tiny push?
Hey, Mira.
Just kidding. I'm not that reckless.
Don't scare me like that.
But we really don't know much at all. We may be at the point of crazy decisions. The only thing we know for sure is what time it is.
1808.
It must have been around 13:30 when we fell asleep in the lounge. So,
4.5 hours?
Wow, you calculated that fast. And at your age, even.
Was it good?
I was just about to say the same thing.
Seems you still have that problem with numbers, Eric. I recall you having trouble calculating change when we first met.
Hey, come on now.
Is that how you two met? I want I wanna hear!
Yeah? My face has gotta be all red. I still remember every detail. The fateful encounter was on a Monday. The sky that morning in Nebraska was full of thick clouds, though the gloom cleared in an instant, like a miracle. I always mustered up my best smile for customers, even the boring regulars I was tired of seeing. I still offered the most delicious ice cream to them. I was getting sick of it, though. Oh, now, don't think it was my work I was unsatisfied with. I really truly love ice cream. But as the days passed, everything felt hollow, as if there was a hole in my heart. I thought it was just another normal day. I wasn't expecting the moment it changed. I couldn't believe my eyes. I didn't think such a beautiful sight existed in this world. My God, the feelings that hit me, I'd never felt anything like that before. That was when I realized this had to be a miracle. Mira entered my life. She was an angel that looked like a customer.
Shouldn't it be the other way?
The details aren't important. You look like you don't understand. Well, I don't blame you. I didn't get it either. Mira was just such a vivacious vision of beauty. There was no way I would be a good match. But then Mira...
Cut it out. Me, an angel? You gotta be kidding.
But it's true.
Oh,
You
man,
really
I'm
are an
psycho
angel
there,
to me,
Tackle.
Mira.
Fucking fuck.
It's like you're a completely different person now, Eric.
Huh?
Well, earlier you were your face was pretty scary.
Did I frighten you that much?
Yeah?
Oh. Gosh. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You were probably just rattled about what's happened to us.
I just turn it.
I could tell you were a nice person under all that.
Stab her in the face.
What are you... You're an odd duck.
Right now.
Looks like you've gone back to your dopey expression again. I guess you calmed down, huh?
Dopey?
A couple of times.
Man, you're really harsh, Mira. But yeah, I'm okay now.
It's for the good of all of us.
That's right. I'm fine. I can definitely smile no matter what.
Fucking... It'd be quick.
I wonder why Zero decided to lock us up in here anyway.
Right. Seems like too much effort for it to be just a joke.
A lot of money was pumped into this whole thing.
Maybe all of this is supposed to be part of the decom experiment? They wanted to investigate how a closed space affected change on emotions, right?
But then why did they want normal people like us to apply? Wouldn't you want people in helpful professions to go to Mars? Like military officials, researchers, other skilled professionals like that.
Maybe the reason they chose civilian subjects is because they're planning to send those kinds of people to Mars in the future.
That sounds right. Strangers living together on Mars for an extended period of time. What kind of problems would that bring? How would the subjects figure out solutions to the resulting troublesome situations? According to the decom staff, that's what the experiment was trying to determine.
Like the chair-bound old man. They put us in a difficult position on purpose, to observe how we'd get out.
The sponsor is a civilian organization that hopes to expand business worldwide. Maybe they expect to be part of a colonization of Mars in the future.
Colonizing Mars?
Hey, have you ever heard this before? If you want to transport live koi from Brazil to Japan, putting only koi fish in an aquarium will result in most of them dying. But by adding something to that same container, you won't lose a single one.
What is it?
A piranha.
A piranha?
But how does that even work?
I guess their self-preservation instincts kick in.
I get it. The fish become so afraid of the piranha that they make an effort to live. That nervous state becomes the power to keep them alive.
Uh-huh. In order to survive, you need that sense of urgency.
Found our piranha.
I see. So, for an actual Mars mission, it'd be a good idea to have a murderer on the crew, huh?
Now fucking stab it. Kill that
Kidding.
piranha. Fucking kill her. Right now.
Eric, don't say scary things like that.
Look at her.
Oh, so maybe all this stuff is something similar. Living quietly in decom becomes boring, so the emotional state will fade. If you intentionally inject a sense of emergency...
A little late, perhaps, but I will now announce the voting results. All three groups have voted for different teams.
Hey, this was the successful route.
The current death count, 0.
This is the first one we've had on this route, I think.
Ideal situation for any of us involved. It appears that none of you fully grasp the essence of this game. Think back on the rules you were told. You will remain in the shelter for eternity until 6 people are killed. I will give you one last chance. A single action from you may result in your escape from the depths. What must you do? It's simple. I shall show you. The other 2 teams are listening to a message just like this one in their ward's decontamination room.
What?
The construction of all of them are the same. A yellow button exists on the wall in each. Pressing it activates the showers in the other wards, and they will rain down a solution of hydrogen fluoride.
No!
It's not only acidic enough to melt a body, but it even dissolves glass and iron. Explaining what would happen if you were under it seems unnecessary. That button on the wall is your way to freedom. Using it will kill the other teams, and you will obtain the needed X passes to escape. I have one final thing to tell you. The early bird gets the worm. After the first team pushes it, the button will become inactive for both of the other teams. Your time limit is 3 minutes. What will you do? Will you press it or refuse? It is ultimately all up to you to decide.
Oh, we gotta hurry or we'll die!
Don't you do it.
Don't worry. We need to trust the others.
The others, you say? What the hell do you know?
Hey! Stop! Where did the nice Eric go?
Shut the hell up, you fucking brat!
Why, Eric?
Ah!
Mira?
At least he's quiet now. I'll leave the rest of this up to you.
Huh?
It'll be interesting to see how you handle this.
What?
What? This is going to be the one time we're punished for not pressing the button, isn't it?
Seems like the other teams didn't press it either.
I am so glad.
Are we safe?
Who really knows?
Mira? What? Watch where you're staring!
It seems there may be a misunderstanding, so I shall clear it up for you. I never said the showers would activate as soon as the button was pressed. Which means you've yet to learn whether the button has been activated by someone or not.
What?
You, Zero.
Then
We'll have to wake up to find out if we're alive or not.
Now, it is time for you to sleep. When next you wake, know that you will have no memory of these past 90 minutes. Pleasant dreams.
No!
So that should be far left. Yep. And yeah, it seems like each team has a press the button or don't press the button. We pressed it, we live, everyone else dies. Didn't press it, go on to the next team. Pressed it, lived. Press it, go on. Don't press it, go on to the other team. And then we get this big chain here. So I think I'm going to try and avoid that tree and do it last. So that would be that panel there, and that panel there. Wait, why is that not complete? Oh, because it's got a pair of logs on it, right. So we can't do that one. That was survived and then took the antidote, right? Yeah. So, hopefully, that should be after it. Because seeing as we got the morphogenetic field thing of Junpei's severed head, I'm going to take a wild guess at that being the bloody chainsaw timeline. So, we'll go for a different timeline.
Damn it! I figured brute force wouldn't work.
So this is Control. The air, water, and electricity for the shelter are all managed here.
this is probably where transmissions to the outside world happen. But
It's disconnected.
Oh, I guess we can't order a bunch of pizza then, huh?
there are a lot of monitors here. I think this might let us review the footage from the security cameras.
Huh? There are security cameras in this place?
Carlos, it's 2028. I'd be more surprised if there aren't cameras hidden everywhere.
She's right. The ones I used for work were about the size of a woman's nipple. Well, I guess, not uniformly. Nipple sizes differ.
A carbon dioxide extinguisher.
Thanks for clearing that up
You're
for us,
definitely
Junpei.
a firefighter. Your eye spots different things than us.
Occupational hazard. Whenever I go somewhere new, I end up checking the extinguishers first thing.
I see. And because you do that all the time, you're able to save so many lives.
It's really nothing much.
What are you talking about? You dive into danger without thinking twice about your own safety. You do it like it's nothing. I think that's pretty amazing.
You know, I doubt it's all that.
What are you trying to say?
Well, Carlos was just doing what he was trained to do. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's like you said.
I'm sorry, Carlos. He's acting out now, but Junpei used to rush to the rescue a lot when we were younger.
Sorry, but I am done with playing the action hero.
But why?
Because I grew up.
You just sound even more childish to me.
It's January 1st. Worst way to start the year off.
Okay, so...
I've never not been able to say Happy New Year to Maria before.
Maria?
My little sister.
Well, take comfort knowing she's alive, at least. Don't forget what Zero said. Very few of you will find yourselves able to welcome a new 2029.
Anyway, let's just figure a way out of this room.
Got it.
Yeah. So this is going on at the same time as they were in the games room. And I'm being shouted, so I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. So this is going on at the same time as in the other timeline they were in the games room at this point. Right. Okay, no indicator of anything changing. Amount of things I know now that I didn't then. It's a big difference. Does that change anything anywhere? Wow. Let's flip it like it flips up like a girl's skirt. Oh hey, there is treasure found from flipping things up. North, south, east, west. Hey Rick. How's it going? Okay, don't know enough about those. Can't interact with those. It looks like it's connected to the one on the right. Okay. Red, blue, green, and pink. Also make sure to not pull plugs out with wet hands. Shock from that terrifies me. Probably afraid of thunder too, aren't you? Seems fairly simple. It's just numbers to... Whoops. That's too early. Dark mode is the best mode, to be fair. Bunch of squares, 3, 10, and 7. That's a D-pad. Okay. Red, south, pink, west. Red, south. Pink, west. Okay. That's a weird one. I'm wondering what these glasses are for. Oh, that's the strips. Over here. So strips are that way, that way, that way, that way, and that way. So we come back to this. So we want to turn that to there. Turn this one to here, I think. Ah, that one can't go straight up. Okay. But this one can, so that should be that. And this one is flat sideways. This one is there. Yeah, I've matched the angles, haven't I? Oh, I just hit back instead of hitting check. I'm smart. Card with some numbers on it and a small battery. Okay. Sunglasses and battery. Ooh, okay. If we set B mode. And C. And card 3. 7, 8, 6, 12. 7, 8, 1. 1, 8, 6, 12. Okay. 3, 10, 7. No, that still interacts with that. So, over here. Let's use these, set them to A. So top left runs to third on the right. Second left runs to first on the right. Fourth runs to second. And fifth runs to fourth. So that is there, 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 and there. Also, I've just noticed this. Right, so 13. Okay, so am I meant to combine those then? So that would be 4 equals B, 1 equals 2, 3 equals 3, 4 equals 1, 5 equals 1 rather, and 3 equals 4. Let's try that setup then instead. So 4 is 5, yeah. 1 is 2. 3, 5 is 1. Wait, I miswrote something, didn't I? Third spot is 2, so it's 2 is 3. Gotcha. 2 is 3, and then 3 is 4. There you go. So yeah, it's literally just you had to use the glasses to get the positions and then match it to the numbers and letters on the posters. Red is southeast, blue is north, green is east, and pink is southwest. That's right, isn't it? Yep, and then east and southeast. Boom. The light in the room on plus minus also turned off. How many do I hit? 6. Cool. On, off, on, off, on. Off, on, off, on, off. On, off, on, off, on. Off, on, off, on, off. Some kind kind of ear speaker and this card with 4 numbers on it. That's that, yeah. Crane controls. Reset, so it's not up. Nailed it. So that's the most overly complex way of pushing a button ever. Oh, hello. Is that B? Okay, so here's B, E, R, S, E, F, E, B, D, T, I, T, Y, E. First letter is, so it's B, E, T, E, S, T, Batista bomb. 7, E, D, B, B tested by F, be tested by fire. That's concerning. Be tested by fire. Green north, northeast, west, pink south, then black northwest. There we go. What's up, yoke? I'm gonna put the boxed face there in chat. Oh yeah, I'm worried about the fire. So as soon as I set this up, everything's going to light up. Good thing we have a firefighter and a thingy here. Right, so red was northeast, then blue was west, pink was south, and finally black was northwest. Ta-da! Oh look, fire.
Oh, the fire is out.
Oh, damn. Whew. That was close.
No, we need to get out.
Guess that extinguisher up there helped, huh?
That's pumping out carbon dioxide.
Yeah, I think so.
It's gonna keep going till we die.
That's bringing its own problems.
Huh?
It doesn't look like it's stopping. At this
That
rate,
we
we'll...
need to get out of here, we'll put that out. Shit.
The percentage of carbon dioxide in the air is roughly 0.04. IDLH level kicks in around 5%.
IDLH?
The highest concentration level you can continue to safely inhale. You lose consciousness shortly after it hits 7%. And after that...
Now commencing the decision game.
A decision game?
10 lockers are beside the door. Within one of them, there is an oxygen mask. Which locker will you open?
Damn. That's zero.
You got to at
We
least
need
give
to
me a
pick one
clue.
quickly.
But which number is correct?
Please choose, Carlos.
The probability is 1 in 10. No hints. We'll have to go with our gut.
Are you kidding? Oh, fuck. So just without any kind of info, I have to choose a locker. Fuck. Okay. Well, either way, if we fail, we should hopefully... Yeah. But if we fail, that's the whole morphogenetic field thing, if we can... I'm gonna go locker 4. Yeah. Unless it's like the fucking antidote one, and it just constantly switches it round at random.
Your final decision?
What?
I know which locker contains the oxygen mask. If there is a mask in the locker you chose, 8 of the remaining 9 lockers will randomly open. If the mask is not within the locker you chose, 8 lockers, except the correct one, will open.
This is...
Wait. If there is a mask in the locker you chose, 8 of the remaining 9 lockers will randomly open. If the mask is not within the locker you chose, 8 lockers except for the correct one will open.
The Monty Hall problem.
The remaining lockers have been narrowed down to 2. Which locker will you open? The exit door will be unlocked in 20 minutes.
20 minutes? There's no way we'll last 20 minutes. What's wrong, Junpei?
Oh man, that's awesome luck for us. Our chances went from 1 in 10 to 50-50.
That's not it, Junpei. The probability is... it's actually...
Akane!
Let's see, Monty Hall problem.
Hey, Akane.
Which one was that?
Akane, are you okay?
Damn, this isn't good. We need to get that mask fast. Which is it? Which one will it be in?
Do I get to pause and think it through? Cool, I do. So if it is in there, that's just 8 random lockers and the 9th one will be empty. Or 8th one will be empty. Yeah, 9th locker will be empty. If it's not in this one, then it has to be in the other one. Right, because it will open all except the correct one. But then we have nothing indicating, we have no evidence whatsoever that it's in that one, but we have a potential chance that it's in this one. So that means this one is ideal.
Oh yeah! We did it!
Yeah, but...
Oh, you gotta be joking. 1? Are you telling me there's only 1?
The announcement. It never said that there would be 3.
No. Oh, no, but it'll all be all right. We'll just rotate the mask between the 3 of us.
We can't.
Why?
The door doesn't open for 20 minutes. The pump only has enough oxygen for 1.
Damn it! What the hell? Ah! What the hell? Hey, Carlos. I have a favor to ask.
I know. I haven't been a firefighter for 10 years. To make the wrong choice now.
Hey, that time at the festival. Remember? We went together. You found this weird character mask and bought 2. You tried to make me wear one. Oh, that's right. You were wearing a yukata then. You said it had been your mom's before she died. That's why it was so big on you. I want to go to that festival again.
Junpei, no! Hurry! Put the mask on! What?
So that's the storyline where we leave Fire to die in the incinerator, I think, judging by that quick shot of the board. Yep. So, let's go choose the wrong one. Lucky number 4.
This is...
So the locker changed. Yeah, that would be the right one then.
Oh. Why? No! It's no use. There's no way that locker will open. Why? It's just how the pieces fall. Looks like we're out of luck. Akane, if only I could have heard your voice one last time. But it seems like...
I'm really sorry, guys. Forgive me. Sorry. I couldn't save you.
Are you sure?
You're taking the word of that announcer earlier? It's completely rubbish. All of it.
Then everyone's alive?
Of course. We need to go get help. All right. Let's go.
Okay.
Fair enough. Monty Hall. All sections cleared. I suppose I'd better just round that off by killing Fi.
It appears the preparations.
bitch. Oh, you're starting to understand the whole timelines and morphogenetic field stuff now, Rick. Takes a bit of work to get your head around, doesn't it?
Come on! Stop this, please! Zero! Zero! You can hear me, right? I don't care what happens to me! So please! Save Phi! Just save Phi!
That's all I needed to hear from you, Sigma. Thank you.
Phi!
And Diana, you can't blame yourself. No matter what. You made the right decision. It's weird, but I feel like we'll see each other again. So I'm not going to say goodbye. I want the two of you to keep on living.
God damn it, no.
I love you.
Phi!
She was the best character in Virtue's Last Reward.